So here we are extending this values to up to 7 so that here the total value it is printed v dot count v1 dot count it is printed 7. After that v1 dot trim of 5 I am giving. So trim of 5 means from the 7, so 5 records will be deleted so that the count is become 2 here. So after that again v1 dot delete I am using. Then it is deleting everything so that count is 0 now. Okay. So trim means how many records it is going to remove. So from the end that will be that count will be there. Suppose 7 is there, I'm giving 5 means only after trim it is only 2 it is there. So delete also how many you are going to delete. We want the delete of 1 means you have to give the index number here, delete of index number so that it will delete particular index only. Suppose delete 1 I am giving, or you can say 2. So what will be? Then what is the count after delete of 2 here? So wrong number of type arguments in the delete. So I have to give one, only one it is there. That means here we are passing the how many 2 is there. So what value it is there? So 1, 6 or 7. It is not taking here. Suppose instead of the trim, I will say delete of 1, 2. Wrong number of types argument should delete. So previously we are using here no delete. Delete 2, 3. So like this we are using no problem. The VR it is not accepting the value here. Yeah, Kisha, we are already deleted means again we are running this program now. So this is not the procedure, okay? So whenever you are running this, again it is inserting the values into this VRA and again we are using here. Here before that, I am disabling this trim here, okay? It has to take from here, V1 of delete, 2, 3. So we can remove this. It is executing here properly. So values I am getting here. Okay, count I am getting 7, 7. That means here the count is 7, here also 7 it is there. So here I am trying to use this delete 2, 3. What is the 2, 3 means what are the values here in this? So I am not using trim here. Okay. So for this it has to work, but I don't know why it is not allowing here. Wrong number or type of arguments in the call to delete. Okay, we'll see later this one. So, but when you use the trim option, what will happen? So it will removing the how many it is there. So trim 4 means it will delete the 4 records. 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 from the 7. Then after that count should be 3. Okay, here it is getting 3. In the VRA, we'll see the how to delete the individual index value. Later we can see that. Okay. So next is nested table. So nested table is also database table which has no limit on its size. Elements are inserted into nested table starting at index 1. Elements can be deleted or added anywhere in the nested table, whereas VRA can only add or delete elements from the end of the VRA. Okay. Okay. You have to delete from the last one. Okay. You can see, we'll try this one, 7. Is it possible? Okay. It is not accepting here. Okay. Leave it this one. So coming to the nested table. So nested table is also a database table which has no limit on its size. Elements can be deleted or added anywhere in the nested table, whereas in VRA only added or deleted elements from the end of the VRA. It is also a user-defined type which is used to store multiple data items in single unit. Nested table and VRS always index start with 1. Nested tables are dense, whereas index tables are no need to allocate the memory explicitly. So syntax for this is type name is table of data type size, variable name, type name assignment operator, type of bracket, type name brackets. So declare type T1 is table of number T1, T1 of assignment operator, T1 brackets. Begin V1 dot extend of 10. So I'm saying here size is not mentioned in the, if you see here, there is no size mentioned for this nested tables, but we are extending them in the executable section. How many we required? We are extending here. So V1 dot extend of 10, and whereas in V1 of 5 assignment operator 50. DBM software put on the line of V1 of 5 I am printing. So here suppose in this V1 of 1, what will be there in this? So I'm printing this V1 of 1 value, and this is the V1 of 5 value I'll print. Okay. So here I'm taking the nested table here, and here size is not mandatory. Okay. And here in the executable section, we have to, how many required this many, we have to extend. V1 dot extend of 10. And in this, V1 of 5, I'm assigning 50. Okay. So whereas in the VRA here, we're assigning in the sequential order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. So this is the V1 of 1, V1 of 2, V1 of 3, 4 like this. We have to in the sequential order we are assigning. Whereas in the nested array, directly we are assigning to the index number. What is the index number required for that number we are assigning, not in the sequential order. So here if you see this, V1 of 1 it is printing 50, V1 of 5 also it is printing 50. Suppose if I say V1 of 6, Then we are not assigned anything, so that it is printing the whatever the value we are assigned for the one variable, that is displaying for the other also. Suppose if I say v1 of 11, will it works? It will throw the error because we are extending it to 10 only, so that it is taking error subscript beyond the count. Suppose if I am assigning some value here for this v1 of 1. None assigned. Okay. So now what will happen here? I'm giving 10 last value. So for this, it is not taking, but v1 of 1 it is taking 50. You should take 10 only, no? We'll assign here. Then see the difference. Every time it is taking 50 by from the logic. Okay. We'll see one more example for this. So we declare type T1 is table of integer v1, T1 assignment operator T1 of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So here we are using the v1 of first dot, v1 dot last, v1 dot clear of 3, next 3 count. So I'm printing this for I in 1 dot dot v1 dot count loop, dbms output dot put underscore line of v1 of I am printing. So that it is printing initially these values I am printing. After that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 it is printed. So that means here it is assigning properly. But when we are using here extend here, it should allow same value here also actually. Then it is not assigning here. If I say v1 of 10, what will happen here? Somewhere in this program might be some syntax or something error, so that it is giving for everyone it is giving 50 only. Okay, so leave it this one example. So consider this one. So here we are taking this type T1 is table of number and we are giving the values and it is printing here. So with one more example I'll explain. So type T1 is table of number T1, T1 of these values I am printing. Okay. Same it is. Suppose if I am taking 60. So then check this. Count how many. So is the first value, index value is 1 and total last is 6 and period of 3 means 2. Next of 3 means 4 it is printing and count it is 6 it is printing. After that in the for loop I am printing this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So same thing can be in the using this declare type T1 is table of varchar of 20. P1 of T1 assignment operator T1 of colon. Cursor C1 is select enum from EMP number of 5 assignment operator 1. Begin for C1 for I in C1 loop V1 dot extend. So in this nested what we are doing in the executable where execution section we are extending the array size here. So how many required? So based on this cursor value, I'm increasing this value here, extending this value. V1 of n assignment operator I dot ename. So here it will be first it will be n value will be 1. So second time it will be 2, 3 like that. And from this cursor, I am printing I am assigning the values to in this index variable. DVMS output V1 of n assignment operator n plus 1, end loop. Again for I in V1 dot first dot V1 dot last, I am printing the values. So initially, one for loop is to capture the data from the cursor and assigning it to the array. So after that again, using the array values, I am printing this. Okay. So wherever you are not aware, so how much data it is coming, then you have to take this extend here so that it will be automatically extended the array size. So if you have the particular limited number of values, then you can define it here itself in the specification. How many values are there required here? You can define here itself. So if you are not aware how many it is coming, so that you can use this array dot extend, v1 dot extend, so that it will increase one by one. So till the our requirement fulfills. Same thing you can use the bulk collect also. So declare type T1 is table of haircut of 10. Okay, V1, T1 of T1 assignment operator, T1 brackets. Begin. Select ename, bulk collect into V1 from EMP. For I in 1 dot dot V1 dot count. Loop and printing this V1 values. The bulk collector, all the enums will be stored into this V1. And from the using the for loop, I am printing these values. Okay. Suppose we'll create a table. One more example here. Create table XXEAM value sets underscore stg underscore prolong. So value set name, flex value set ID, description, format type, list type, validation type. So all the columns I'm taking, who columns also I'm considering here. So now I have the table. This is the table name. So now there is no data. So how will you insert into this using the VArray? Suppose I will take from the existing flex value sets and I will insert into this. So for this we need a big program like this. So what we are doing, declaring the cursor C value sets is select ff vs underscore vs dot flex value set name we are taking alias name and description format type long list all the column names, what are the required columns names we are taking from these tables fnd flex value sets and fnd flex values. These are the two tables. How we are joining these two tables? Using the common column, that is flex value set ID. So here ffvs dot flex value set ID is equals to ffv dot flex value set ID. So is the cursor we have defined. Within this cursor, what are the data it is there, it will capture into and store into this cursor C value sets. This is the cursor name C value sets. So now what I am doing? So defining the table here, nested table. Type value set type is table of C value set percentage row type. LV underscore value set is the value set type we are mentioning. Begin open C value sets loop, fetch C value sets, bulk collect into LV underscore value sets. Exit when LV underscore value set dot count is equals to 0. Okay. So for I in 1 dot dot LV underscore value set dot count loop insert into XXEAM value sets underscore STG underscore 12. Value set name, description, format type, list value, validation type, all these columns and passing the values. Okay. So for the who columns, I am passing this data fnd global dot user ID. So again for the who are login, this is the last updated creation date created by, last update date, last updated by. So for this, I am taking this values here. End loop end. So exception when no data found output error message is, when others output when error message is. What is the error message here? So I'm not doing commit here. If you want, you can use this commit also. Okay, I'll use the commit also, so that the data will be stored into this table. So at present, there is no data in this table. Before executing, we have seen this. There is no data in the table here, in this table. So now I am executing this one. Okay. So procedure successfully completed. There is no output messages defined in this procedure. Okay. In this anonymous block, I didn't define any DBMS output statement. Only whenever any error message comes, no data found or any others, then only it will be going to print this error message. Otherwise, I'm not using any DBMS output statement. Now check this table. This is the data inserted into this table. So how we are inserting? First, we are getting the values into cursor. From the cursor, I am taking the values into nested table here. Okay. Bulk collect into LV underscore value set is the nested table. So in this, I am fetching the data. So and after that, using the for loop, I am inserting into this table. So what I will do, I will truncate this and I will insert using the another method. So now there is no data. So difference between the cursor and collection, how will be difference? First we'll use this cursor here first. So declare cursor C1 is select ename from EMP where department number is equal to 10, LV underscore ename ARCA 2 of 20. Begin open C1 loop, fetch C1 into LV underscore ename, exit when C1 percentage not found. And DBMS output, I am printing the name here. So same way, so can we use this collection method? So how will you using the collection method for this program? So same, declare type T1 is table of ARCA 2 of 20. LV underscore T1 assignment operator of T1 brackets. Begin. Select ename, bulk collect into LV underscore T1 from EMP, where department number is equals to 10. So here in the cursor, we are taking this query, select ename from EMP where department number is equals to 10. So here is directly select ename, bulk collect into LV underscore T1 from EMP where department number is equals to 10. For in, LV underscore T1 dot first dot LV underscore T1 dot last loop. I'm printing the ename here and loop. So here the problem is in the cursor, you cannot fetch the required value. It will, every time it will print from the sequential order only. But coming to here, so you can have the, based on the index value, you can print the different order here. Okay. So here normally when using the for loop, it is King, Clerk, Miller, it is printed. So it is stored in the index variable 1, 2, 3. So third ename is Miller, first ename is King, second ename is Clerk. Like that you can print also. So with the collection method, you can go to directly that particular index variable and you can print the value. But whereas in the cursor, you cannot go like that and you cannot print the required data. Every time it will go into the sequential order only. So here it is not possible to get the, suppose if I want the third one, only Miller I want. So you cannot print directly using this here. But in the collection method, you can print that variable directly using this LV underscore TL T1 of 2, 1 or 3 like this. If I want to print only third record, so then I can take this one only. But whereas in the cursor, it is not possible to take that index variable, so that it will, every time it will, you have to in the sequential order only have to print it, or you have to get the value in the sequential order only. But when you use the collection methods, you directly get the required value based on this index value name. Okay. This is the main differences for the cursors and the collections. So any doubts here? So tomorrow we'll continue with this next topic, bulk mechanism. Okay.